She loved him with everything she had, but his mother saw her as nothing. That night, she was driven away in tears, never knowing she would one day return stronger than anyone expected. When Alina first fell in love with Daniel, she believed their love was enough to conquer anything. Daniel was kind, gentle, and protective. But his mother, Mrs. Carter, never approved of their relationship. "She's not from our world," she would often say. "She'll only drag you down." Alina tried everything to win her over. She cooked their favorite meals. She smiled through the biting comments. She stayed quiet when she wanted to scream. She swallowed insults that cut deeper and deeper each time, until one night, at a tense family dinner, everything shattered. Mrs. Carter finally said the words out loud. "You are not welcome in this family." She snapped, her voice cold as ice. "My son deserves better than a girl with no status and no future." The room fell silent. Everyone stared. Daniel froze, his face pale. Alina looked at him, her heart pounding, waiting for him to speak up, to defend her, to choose her, but he didn't say a word. With tears streaming down her face, Alina slowly stood up. "I loved your son," she said softly, her voice trembling but clear, "and I loved him enough to leave." She walked out of that house and into the pouring rain, heartbroken, humiliated, and completely alone. The years that followed were not easy. Alina struggled. She cried herself to sleep more nights than she could count, but that immense pain began to change her. It fueled a fire inside her she never knew she had. She went back to school, earning a degree she'd always dreamed of. She worked 2 jobs, sometimes until she was exhausted, learning to stand firmly on her own 2 feet. Slowly, piece by piece, she healed, and in that process she learned something incredibly powerful. Rejection doesn't have to be a curse, it can be your greatest teacher. 5 years later, Alina returned to the city. She didn't come back for revenge or to prove a point. She came back for her career. But fate had other plans. She heard that Daniel's father had passed away, and Mrs. Carter was now ill and alone in the hospital. When Alina walked into that hospital room, Mrs. Carter barely recognized her. Gone was the timid, tearful girl. Standing before her was a confident, calm, and unbreakable woman. Mrs. Carter's voice trembled with regret. "I was so cruel to you," she whispered. "I destroyed my son's happiness, and I destroyed yours." Alina gently took her hand. "I came back," she said softly, "not because of the pain you caused me, but because I chose forgiveness." Tears of shame and relief rolled down Mrs. Carter's face. Daniel stood just outside the room, listening to every word. For the first time, he truly understood the magnitude of what he had lost. He had lost a woman who was stronger and more graceful than he ever deserved. When Alina left the room, she saw him. She smiled at him, not with bitterness or anger, but with a quiet peace. Some love stories aren't meant to last forever. They are meant to teach us how to become who we were always meant to be. She was driven away with tears, but she returned with strength and forgiveness. Because the strongest people don't come back to hurt you, they come back healed. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe for more powerful stories.